The tight-knit yet complex dynamic of the Johnston family, known from TLC's popular series 7 Little Johnstons, has long captivated audiences. Their lives, shaped by both the extraordinary challenges of living with dwarfism and the everyday issues that face any family, have been an emotional roller coaster. But among all the relationships depicted on screen, few have seen more recent strain than that between Anna and the rest of her family. So when Anna Johnston and her sister Emma recently reunited in California amid persistent rumors of a family rift, fans were both surprised and hopeful. This unexpected reconnection offered a glimmer of reconciliation in a situation often marked by emotional distance. At the center of the Johnston family's public narrative are Trent and Amber, the parents who have built a home based on rules, expectations, and structure. Over the years, however, cracks in that structure have become visible, particularly in their relationship with Anna. Once portrayed as the rebellious child seeking independence, Anna has grown into a confident, entrepreneurial young woman with a college degree and a successful small business. But with her maturation came tension that seemed to center on autonomy, acceptance, and emotional distance. And while viewers have often seen the push and pull between Anna and her parents, her relationships with her siblings, including Emma, have also come under scrutiny. California, with its openness and creative energy, has always been seen as a space for new beginnings. For Anna and Emma, it became a symbolic and literal meeting ground. Away from the heavily structured world of Forsyth, Georgia, and far from the looming presence of family expectations, the two sisters found themselves stepping into each other's space with curiosity rather than confrontation. This reunion wasn't part of a televised event or family vacation orchestrated by producers. It was personal, quiet, and powerful. Social media gave fans their first look at the reunion. Anna posted a sun-soaked picture of herself and Emma smiling under the California sky, captioning it simply with a heart emoji and the hashtag #SistersFirst. Emma followed with her own post, adding, "West Coast vibes with my favorite girl." What stood out wasn't just the setting, but the sincerity. These were not posed for the camera moments, crafted for an episode's storyline. They were snapshots of sisters reconnecting in a time of uncertainty. The tension between Anna and her family had been building for years, though it came to a head more recently when Anna began distancing herself from family events, trips, and even holiday gatherings. Speculation swirled. Was she disinvited? Had she chosen to step back? Fans dissected social media posts, read into Instagram captions, and questioned her absence from episodes. Though neither side offered public confirmation of a rift, Anna's increased independence, marked by her solo travels, entrepreneurial pursuits, and apartment living, suggested a young woman making a stand for herself. Emma, on the other hand, has always been the vibrant, outspoken youngest daughter. With a flair for fashion and social media, she has become something of an online personality. Though she generally remained quiet during the public speculation about Anna's family distance, those who followed closely could sense her loyalty to her siblings. It wasn't always clear where she stood between Anna and the rest of the family, but the recent reunion in California sent a strong message. Emma wasn't choosing sides, she was choosing love. Away from cameras and expectations, California offered the sisters a neutral space, free of judgment, full of possibility. It was likely a trip rooted in more than just escape. In some ways, it was about reclaiming something both had lost in recent years, the bond of sisterhood, unburdened by family politics. For Anna, it may have been a chance to reframe her narrative, not as the difficult daughter or the outsider, but as someone who could reconnect on her own terms. For Emma, perhaps it was a quiet rebellion against being caught in the middle, a declaration that she could love her sister openly regardless of the family's internal dynamics. Their California visit included beach outings, brunches, local art walks, and cozy evenings, all shared through glimpses on Instagram stories and posts. But more than the activities, it was the subtler signals that captivated fans. In one story, Anna tagged Emma in a post that read, "The ones who matter don't mind, and the ones who mind don't matter." Emma reshared it with a heart, subtly indicating solidarity. Behind those moments were years of complicated emotions. For Anna, being adopted at a young age and raised in a family that expected structure and discipline may have led to a sense of never fully belonging. Though the Johnstons have always emphasized unity and love, Anna's own words and actions have hinted at feeling marginalized or misunderstood. Her absence from the family's Puerto Rico vacation, her cryptic captions, and her visible emotional distance in recent episodes pointed toward a narrative of exclusion. Whether chosen or imposed, no one could say for sure. In contrast, Emma's experience seemed to be more aligned with the traditional expectations of the family. She has been featured prominently in family content, shared space with her parents online and on camera, and maintained a more visible connection to the Johnston household. But that doesn't mean her loyalty lies solely with her parents. The California reunion showed that Emma could see her sister beyond the labels, beyond the family tension, and meet her as an individual. This reunion didn't necessarily resolve the larger rift. The family as a whole still seems distant from Anna. Amber and Trent have remained relatively silent on the subject, neither confirming nor denying the speculation. Whether it's an attempt to protect privacy or to avoid backlash, their silence only fuels more questions. The reunion between Anna and Emma may not mend every broken tie, but it demonstrated the possibility of healing, one relationship at a time. For fans who have followed 7 Little Johnstons from the beginning, watching the children grow up has been like watching friends mature. They've witnessed school struggles, first jobs, heartbreaks, and graduations. But they've also seen moments of discord that echo real-life family challenges. Anna and Emma's California trip became a real-time reminder that family is not just about shared names or traditions. It's about choice, choosing to show up, choosing to forgive, choosing love over loyalty to dysfunction. In many ways, this reunion stood as a quiet revolution within the family narrative. While the show often focuses on group events, staged gatherings, and organized family meetings, Anna and Emma's decision to reconnect outside of that environment hinted at a desire to write their own chapter, one that didn't require permission or approval. That decision also empowered fans, especially those who come from families where estrangement or emotional distance are familiar. The idea that reconciliation doesn't always need a grand gesture or public apology, that it can begin with a flight, a shared meal, a walk on the beach, resonated with many. Anna and Emma may not be able to fix every relationship in their family, but they prove that connection is possible even when other ties feel frayed. As Anna returned from California, her posts hinted at a renewed sense of peace. She didn't declare a reconciliation or make bold statements, but her tone was softer, more open. For Emma, the return was equally quiet, but her next family post included a small, telling gesture, a photo collage where Anna, for the first time in months, made an appearance. No fanfare, just presence. Ultimately, the journey toward healing, whether in a family or within oneself, is rarely linear. There will be steps forward, steps back, and moments of stillness. But in reuniting in California, Anna and Emma chose forward motion. And in doing so, they reminded everyone watching that amid even the most complicated family dynamics, love can still find a way. Raising a child is a beautiful, challenging journey filled with unpredictability and profound growth for both the parent and the child. For Liz Johnston, star of 7 Little Johnstons, motherhood has brought all of that and more. Since welcoming her daughter, Leighton, into the world, Liz has opened up about the transformation in her life, the tough lessons she's had to learn, and the firm boundaries she's had to set as a new mom. One boundary in particular, Summed up in her words, "We don't do that," has resonated with fans and fellow parents alike, sparking conversations about discipline, independence, and intentional parenting. From the moment Liz announced her pregnancy, 7 Little Johnstons fans have watched her navigate an entirely new chapter, one that has often felt at odds with her own upbringing in a household filled with strong personalities and deep family dynamics. Now, as she steps fully into motherhood, Liz has shown that she's not just following in the footsteps of her parents, Amber and Trent. She's carving out her own path and parenting style. Leighton Drew, born in late 2023, instantly became the center of Liz's world. Her social media soon shifted from selfies and sisters to bottles and baby giggles. But what didn't change was Liz's openness. Rather than glamorizing motherhood, she has shared the highs and lows, including the hard moments that come with setting limits. Leighton is curious, strong-willed, and super smart, Liz shared in an interview. But even at this age, you have to guide that. You can't just let your kid run wild because they're cute. This sentiment struck a chord. While many reality TV stars highlight the cute outfits and adorable moments, Liz chose to highlight structure. For her, it's not about being strict, it's about being clear. That clarity is summed up in one of the phrases she finds herself repeating: "We don't do that." Liz explained that the phrase is less about scolding and more about teaching. It's about creating a sense of values and norms, what's acceptable, what isn't, and why. "When I say, 'we don't do that,' I'm reminding Leighton that this is our family's way," Liz said. "It's not about shaming, but about creating consistency." That consistency is vital in a world where parenting styles often swing from overly permissive to overly authoritarian. Liz, however, is trying to walk the middle line. She's not trying to replicate Amber and Trent's strict rules, nor is she interested in a totally gentle parenting approach where consequences are absent. For her, it's about mutual respect and modeling behavior that Leighton can learn from. It starts small, like throwing toys, hitting, or yelling when she's frustrated, Liz said. "I'll kneel down, get to her level, and calmly say, 'We don't do that.' And then I show her what we do instead." Liz's approach makes sense given her experience growing up in the Johnston household. As fans of 7 Little Johnstons know, Amber and Trent have been hands-on parents with a very traditional structure. Chores, curfews, and accountability have been hallmarks of their parenting. But as much as Liz respected her parents, she also felt the weight of their discipline. "I learned a lot growing up in a big, loud family. But I also saw that sometimes things were too rigid. I want Leighton to feel safe, but also feel heard," she said. Being raised in front of cameras also shaped how Liz sees parenting. Every mistake was magnified, and every success shared with an audience. Now, as a mom, she wants to shield Leighton from that spotlight, at least a little. While she still posts photos, Liz has made it clear that she's setting boundaries around how much of Leighton's life is shared publicly. "I want to respect her privacy even now," Liz explained. "I'm okay with showing moments, but not turning her into content." The idea of saying, "we don't do that," also reflects a broader parenting philosophy, one that's centered on emotional intelligence and intentional choices. Rather than yelling, punishing, or giving in, Liz has embraced the power of calmly, firmly saying no and explaining why. It's easy to get tired and say, "Whatever, just let her have it." But that teaches inconsistency, Liz said. "I want Leighton to know that no isn't mean, it's loving." She described one recent example when Leighton threw a tantrum at a family gathering because she wanted to touch a hot dish. "I picked her up, brought her into another room, and said, 'We don't touch hot things. That hurts, we don't do that.' I said it calmly but clearly, and even though she cried, she eventually got it." These moments are hard, especially when other people are watching. As any parent knows, there's a pressure to keep things under control to avoid judgment. But Liz has learned to tune out the noise and stay focused on what's best for her daughter. I don't care what people think in the moment. I care about the kind of woman Leighton becomes. Part of the challenge in setting boundaries and routines with Leighton comes from changes in Liz's relationship with Bryce, her longtime partner, and Leighton's father. While the couple initially seemed solid, rumors of tension and separation have swirled in recent months. Though Liz hasn't publicly confirmed a split, she has hinted at taking on more responsibilities solo. Sometimes it's just me and her, and in those moments, I know I have to be everything: teacher, nurturer, protector. That's hard, she admitted. Being a single mom, even temporarily, adds layers of difficulty. Without someone to back her up in discipline or share the load of consistency, Liz has doubled down on being present and proactive. The "we" in "we don't do that" may be just her and Leighton now, but to Liz, that's still a family. And her own family, parents, siblings, and extended relatives have provided support. Still, Liz is cautious about too many influences or too much interference. I love my family, but Leighton is my daughter. At the end of the day, I'm the one setting the rules. I respect their help, but I need to do it my way. Not everyone agrees with Liz's parenting approach, of course. As a reality TV personality, she's used to opinions, both invited and uninvited. Some followers think she's too strict, others think she's not strict enough. But Liz is unfazed. I don't need everyone to agree with me. I just need Leighton to know that I'm always here, always loving her, and always keeping her safe. That calm confidence is something that's grown with motherhood. Liz is no longer just a daughter or a reality star. She's a mother, and that identity has reshaped how she moves through the world. Supporters, especially other young moms, have praised her for being real about the struggles and triumphs. They applaud her for not falling into the Instagram trap of perfect parenting aesthetics. And they echo the message that firm, kind parenting is something to be proud of. For Liz, sharing her story isn't about fame or image, it's about connecting. She knows how hard it can be to feel like you're doing motherhood right. That's why she's open about the messy parts. Every mom has moments where she thinks, "Am I screwing this up?" Liz said, "But you're not. If you're showing up, loving them, and teaching them gently but clearly, then you're doing okay." That's the heart behind her now famous phrase. "We don't do that" isn't about control, it's about love. It's a shorthand for values, boundaries, and calm parenting. And for Liz, it's the foundation of the life she's building with Leighton. As Leighton grows, Liz knows the challenges will change. Toddler tantrums will turn into emotional meltdowns, and eventually, difficult teenage conversations. But the principle remains. "We don't do that" is more than a phrase. It's a parenting philosophy, a moral compass, a reminder that while the world is loud and chaotic, a family can be calm and consistent. Amber Johnston, the matriarch of the beloved TLC series 7 Little Johnstons, has long been known for her candid honesty, strong family values, and unrelenting devotion to her children. But recently, her strength has been tested in ways fans never expected. In a deeply personal and emotional update shared on social media and later elaborated in a TLC special segment, Amber provided a health update regarding her nephew, who was involved in a horrific accident that sent shockwaves through the Johnston family. The accident occurred just weeks before a scheduled family gathering meant to celebrate the summer and a series of milestones the family had reached: Liz's journey into motherhood, Emma's academic success, and Jonah's ongoing personal growth. But joy quickly turned into crisis when Amber received the call that would change everything. Her nephew, a vibrant and athletic 17-year-old, had been involved in a devastating car accident while riding with friends on a rural Georgia road. Amber's nephew, whom she has referred to as like a second son in past interviews, was critically injured when the vehicle he was in veered off the road and collided with a tree. The crash left 2 of the teens with minor injuries, but Amber's nephew was not so fortunate. trapped inside the mangled wreckage for nearly 20 minutes before emergency responders could extract him. He suffered multiple fractures, a traumatic brain injury, and internal bleeding. Amber, who has spent her adult life as a devoted mother to 5 children, and as an advocate for little people in a world that often misunderstands them, found herself grappling with an entirely different kind of helplessness. In that moment, she was no longer the TV personality or the steadfast family anchor. She was a frightened aunt waiting for any shred of good news. The Johnston family's tight-knit nature meant that the ripple effects of the accident were felt deeply. The younger siblings, especially Alex and Emma, were hit hard emotionally. As the only family members still living full-time under Amber and Trent's roof, they witnessed firsthand the emotional toll it took on their mother. Emma, known for her emotional intuition, often found herself comforting Amber in quiet moments. Alex, though more reserved, took on added responsibilities at home. After days of uncertainty, multiple surgeries, and a medically induced coma, Amber decided to share an update with fans. She took to the family's joint Instagram account, posting a picture of her nephew's hand intertwined with hers in a hospital room, wrapped in wires and medical tape. Her caption was both vulnerable and hopeful. "We've been living hour to hour, praying for healing and clinging to each moment. My nephew is fighting like the strong young man he is. Please keep our family in your prayers." Within minutes, the comment section flooded with support. Fans from across the globe offered encouragement, sharing similar stories, prayers, and messages of hope. Some even created fan-led prayer chains. For a family that had opened their lives so intimately to the public for years, this moment of pain was met with a wall of empathy. Trent Johnston, Amber's husband and partner through every trial and triumph, took a more private role during the ordeal. Though known for his sarcastic wit and firm fatherly demeanor on the show, he became Amber's rock, managing the home front, helping with travel logistics, and stepping up with their children so Amber could be present at the hospital. Jonah, often labeled the family's troubled son due to his past struggles with anxiety and independence, displayed a depth of maturity that surprised even Amber. He traveled to the hospital, helped care for his younger siblings, and was instrumental in organizing a local fundraiser for the family to help cover some of the nephew's medical expenses not covered by insurance. Anna, who has had a complicated relationship with her parents in recent years, reached out and made it a point to visit. Her arrival at the hospital was reportedly emotional, showing that despite differences, love and blood always prevail. Liz, now a new mom herself, faced the challenge of juggling her responsibilities to her infant daughter, Leighton, while emotionally supporting her mother and the wider family. She coordinated with extended relatives and even offered to help with meals and errands from her own home. Emma and Alex, the youngest of the family, found comfort in each other. Their bond, strengthened over years of shared experiences, became even more evident as they tried to bring small moments of joy and normalcy into the family's otherwise heavy atmosphere. After weeks of touch-and-go progress, Amber's nephew began showing signs of recovery. He woke up from the coma, recognized his mother, and was eventually moved from intensive care to a neuro-rehabilitation unit. The news came as a huge relief to Amber, who had been spending nights on a small hospital cot, reading his favorite books aloud and playing music to stimulate brain activity. In a follow-up post, Amber wrote, "He's awake, he's aware, and he's still here. We have a long road ahead, but every step forward is a miracle." Rehabilitation was grueling. There were days when Amber's nephew struggled with speech, mobility, and emotional regulation. As Amber explained in a later family blog post, the journey from injury to full recovery isn't linear. "Some days felt like 2 steps forward, 5 steps back," she wrote. "But I kept reminding myself, and him, that survival in itself was already a victory." TLC producers, out of respect for the family's wishes, opted to delay filming parts of the upcoming season and minimized any intrusiveness during the most difficult moments. While certain parts of the recovery journey will be featured in the new episodes, viewers are expected to see a more emotional and real side of Amber, less scripted, more maternal, and deeply human. The network also released a brief statement in solidarity. "Our hearts go out to the Johnston family. We stand with Amber and her loved ones during this challenging time." Fans, while eager for updates, largely respected the family's privacy. Online forums and fan pages discouraged speculation and instead focused on sending positive thoughts and sharing personal recovery stories that might inspire or comfort the family. Through it all, Amber Johnston has emerged with a renewed sense of purpose and an even deeper appreciation for life and family. In an essay posted on the family's website, she reflected on the experience not just as a tragedy, but as a moment of awakening. "We spend so much of our lives planning the next thing: graduations, weddings, new babies, holidays. And then something like this happens and time just stops. You realize what really matters. It's not the plans or the pictures or the projects. It's the people. It's the love that surrounds you when everything else crumbles." Amber's faith, which has always been quietly present throughout the show, became a cornerstone of her coping process. Prayer groups formed around the community, and local churches offered support in various forms, from meals to donations to emotional comfort. As of the most recent update, Amber's nephew is home, attending outpatient therapy multiple times a week, and regaining more independence with each passing day. His speech has improved significantly, and he has even returned to school part-time, supported by a specialized team of educators and therapists. Amber continues to share glimpses of his progress, careful not to overstep his privacy, but keen on showing the power of resilience and family unity. Fans are likely to see this journey play out in heartfelt moments in the upcoming season, though not sensationalized, just shared honestly, the way the Johnstons have always tried to be. For Amber, this experience has underscored the fragile, precious nature of life and the importance of staying grounded, present, and grateful. Her words in a final post sum it up best.